Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. A win. We got a win. We got a win over the weekend just against Wolves. It should have been 4-0 or 5-0, but hey, we got a win that is after getting a win against Lens, after getting a win against Burnley, and after getting a win against Brentford. 3 wins in a row. Can we finally make it 4 wins in a row this season? I don't think we've won 4 Premier League games in a row this season. This will be the first time. And after that, we have fixtures against the likes of Aston Villa and Brighton and Liverpool. Tough fixtures coming up. So Luton away. We finally get to play against Luton, the newly promoted side. They're currently they've actually picked up a few points here and there. They got a win against Crystal Palace. They got a draw against Liverpool at home as well. So at home they've been doing quite okay. They almost got something against Tottenham as well. Tottenham only beat them 1-0. So I predicted at the beginning of the season that if Luton are going to get points, it's going to be at home. So I wouldn't expect this game could go 3 ways, or let's say 2 ways. It could be a 5-0 Arsenal win, or it could be just let's use 3 ways. It could be a 5-0 win, it could be a dull 0-0 draw that just parked the bus, or it could be a Luton win. And it's not like it's never happened before. I remember in Brentford were promoted night game, just like this Luton game. We couldn't handle it and we ended up losing that game. But I have to believe that this Arsenal team is very, very different from the one that we had 2 years ago. That time we had the likes of Kolasinac and Holding and Pepe, a lot of different players. This team that we have right now is totally different. We are managing to pick up wins. Unfortunate that Tomiyasu picked up a slight knock. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out. He's going to be out from recording this on the Saturday night after playing, so we still haven't heard anything from that match yet. Any news on Tomiyasu? The thing I'd said before the Wolves game, my lineup for the Wolves game had Trossard starting instead of Martinelli, and it had Ben White starting instead of Tomiyasu. I'd actually said I would start Tomiyasu and Trossard in this Luton game. Not Trossard, sorry, Martinelli and Tomiyasu in this Luton game, and then and rest Martinelli and both Tomiyasu in that game, and then play them in this one, and then switch back from the likes of Trossard. But that has to change now. Obviously, a few injuries here and there. It's a shame that the likes of Partey and Smith and Vieira are all injured. So we kind of have to use the same team, the likes of Rice and Odegaard every single game. We can't really afford to make any changes. And defensively as well. Like if we had Timber, we can even afford to rest someone like a Saliba and move on from that. I also say that I would rest one from Saliba and Declan Rice for this game. But looking at it right now, I actually wouldn't because you can't underestimate them. They're going to play those long balls. They're going to have the crowd behind them and everything. Get the job done early if possible, and then you can take off one of them. And obviously, the other week after next weekend, we do have PSV away from home, and they'll get a 1 week break. I don't think Rice and Saliba have to play in that one already through, so we can rest them in that one. So, but let's manage their minutes here and there. Especially Saliba and Rice. Those are the two players I really want to stay fit. The forward players we can rotate. Saka has been subbed off recently. Martinelli has been subbed off. Trossard has started. He's been on the bench. Havertz has started. He's been on the bench. But it's not going to be an easy game, especially at night on a Tuesday night. We still don't know what result Man City and Tottenham are going to have. I'm expecting a Man City win, but let's imagine it's a draw. We'll be 3 points ahead of them, and then we have a fixture on Tuesday. We could be 6 points ahead of them before the next play. But let's just focus on our job. Let's not focus on what Liverpool and Man City do. I just expect them to win as well. So let's focus on what we are going to do. So as I said, Luton have picked up good results against the likes of Liverpool, especially a draw. And they've not really gotten trashed this season. People usually expect 5-0, 4-0. People are saying Luton are going to do worse than Derby. They're going to have less than 10 points. They're going to lose several games, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. They haven't. Most of their games have been very tight, 2-1, 3-1, 2-2. They've had, I think, a 1-1, a 1-0. They do have that crowd behind them, and that tight pitch, you're going to need to really quieten the crowd. Early, get a goal or two, quieten the crowd, and because if they score fast, in a little bit of trouble, they will feed off that. So Tuesday night game, remember after this, you're going to have Aston Villa, but if we win this, we can get 4 wins in a row, which will be very, very welcome. But which kind of lineup will do the job in this one? So this would be my starting lineup for this match against Luton. Obviously, David Dreyer in goal, stays in goal. He deserved a clean sheet in the last game against Wolves. And then the back four. Now, Tomiyasu is not there anymore. So we have like 5 defenders to pick from, 6 if you choose Cedric. So we have the likes of Zinchenko, Kivio, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White to choose from. I think Gabriel and Saliba are self-explanatory. As I've said, I was thinking of resting Saliba in this game, but I'd stick with him in the lineup. And then it's all about the fullback. So Tomiyasu is out. I'd bring back Ben White. I've thought about starting Kivio, but I would go with Zinchenko. Just to make something clear, in that game against in over the weekend against Wolves, I did say yes, he made the mistake. I'd actually given him an 8 out of 10 in the player ratings, and then he made that mistake. It went down to a 6. I think he was very good going forward. Zinchenko, he had the most, I think, touches for us in the first half. He was creating chances. He got an assist. He was winning the ball back for us. I think he won the position 5 times, 5 to 10 times in that first half. He was very good until he made the mistake in the second half. But this particular game, those tight spaces, those cutbacks, the left side to the right side, you need someone to pick out a pass, someone to pick out a cross, someone a bit tricky and a very good ball player on the ball. I think we need Zinchenko in this game. Defensively, if Tomiyasu was fit, maybe we'd have considered him, aerial set pieces and all that. But I think Zinchenko, in terms of opening them up, it could help us a lot. So I would stick with Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and bring in Ben White for Tomiyasu. So that would be the back four. Midfield, I'm hoping we get 2 or 3 goals in this game and then get control. I've thought about potentially having control from the beginning of the game, but no. I'm going to stick with Declan Rice in the midfield by himself. And then if he can get a goal or 2, then you can bring on Jorginho for control. Hopefully, I don't expect us to win 4 or 5-0, especially in an away game. Home game is different, but in an away game like this, it could be very tight. So you'll need to defend very well. You need to take your chances. Trossard and Ketty, you need to take your chances. No missing chances. It's going to be very, very tight in this game, as we saw for Liverpool. So my midfield would be Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Havertz. Yes, I would bring in Havertz in this game. It would have been very ideal if I could find a way to fit in Havertz, Trossard, and Martinelli all in this team, because I feel like all 3 of them plus Jesus could really help us. I mean, we already know Saka, Jesus, and Odegaard are very good in games, almost every single game, tight spaces, taking shots, creating chances from nothing. We know about them. But Trossard, almost for the same thing as well. You need, if they mark out Odegaard from the game and Saka, you have Trossard's clever, silky self in the middle of the park. That would be great. Havertz runs into the box, I think, will really help us in this one as well. Those late runs into the box. And I do feel sometimes maybe on a counter attack, or if Odegaard or Trossard pick out a pass, Martinelli could be on the end of it, like he was like against Sevilla away from home. Martinelli is very good at that, and he's been very good. I also don't really want to break up that front 3. So unfortunately, I've had to drop Trossard to the bench. I'm going with Havertz for this one, Odegaard and Rice. I've thought about Trossard instead of Martinelli in this one. I'm not really, I wouldn't be mad at that actually, but I just didn't want to break up that front 3. Speaking of the front 3, Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli. Saka was subbed off against Lens. Jesus was subbed off against Lens and against Wolves. Martinelli was subbed off last week against Brentford. He also got subbed off against Wolves. So they've not necessarily played 90 minutes every single game. They've gotten rest here and there. So I will start the 3 of them. Hopefully, can get the job done early and then bring in Trossard and Jorginho and then control the game from that point on. But I think this team is quite good enough to win that game. Ryan goals, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, Rice, Havertz, Odegaard, Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka. That leaves on the bench not the strongest, since Vieira is injured, Smith Rowe is injured, Partey is injured, Timber is injured, and now Tomiyasu could be injured. It's not the strongest bench, but Ramsdale, Kivio, Cedric, El Nini, Jorginho, Trossard, Nelson, Ketia, and Nwaneri. So if we get a 2-goal lead or something in 65th minute, I would actually bring in Kivio for Zinchenko just for more defensive solidity, and then I would bring in Trossard for Martinelli as well in this particular game. Remember, if we score early, get 1 or 2 goals, Luton have to open up and you'll get a lot of spaces, especially for Saka and Martinelli and Jesus in behind. That would be great. If things completely go away and you're 3 goals up, 4 goals up, then you can obviously rest Saka for the Aston Villa game, give Nelson some game time, bring in Ketty for Jesus as well. Declan Rice and Saliba, at least one of them, I feel like if you get a comfortable lead, at least one of them has to go out. It's potentially going to be Rice for Jorginho for more control in midfield as well. Jorginho is good at that. But Rice, Saliba, Saka, Jesus, whoever, if the job is done, whoever can get subbed off for a rest would be absolutely ideal. My prediction for the match, I'm going to go for a clean sheet. I feel like we deserved a clean sheet against Wolves. They were never going to score if you didn't make the mistake. I'm going to go with I don't think it's going to be comfortable. I can see it being like 1-0 at halftime, and then maybe get a couple of late goals. So I am going to go with Luton 0, Arsenal 3. I'm thinking 2-0, but I'm going to go with an extra goal. Luton 0, Arsenal 3. And I think this will be one of their biggest losses of the season if that actually happens. They've not really been trashed this season, but I trust the Arsenal team. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win. Let's hope we can get the job done, because after that it's going to be tough. Aston Villa, Brighton, Liverpool, not going to be easy. Let me know what your thoughts on the match are, and your prediction for the match as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.